Yes, and so guys, today we had an example of encouraging teacher who influenced the student, yes, and actually there are people in the world, yes, and people who we meet, and they influence us sometimes more, sometimes less. Today we're going to think about people who influenced you, right, and who maybe influenced your life. First of all, we are going to do some listening and we'll hear the people talking about the people who influenced them. So just one moment. Have a look. So first, we're going to listen to someone talking about a person who influenced them or influential person. What do you need to do is try to answer the questions. Who are they talking about? And what are they, why are they important to the speaker? Okay, just 2 questions. Ready to listen? Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Unit 10, Recording 2.
I know lots of people would probably say this, but the person who's had the biggest impact on my life is, without a doubt, my mom. My mom and dad separated a few months before I was born, so I never knew my father. And I'm an only child, so it was just the two of us as I was growing up. My mom was an incredibly strong woman. She brought me up on her own. She moved us from our small town in Poland to Germany when I was just 6, and she always loved me and believed in me, while doing 3 jobs to support me as well. She died a few years ago now, and I miss her every single day. If it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't have become the independent, strong, kind person I know she wanted me to be. And if she hadn't forced me to practice the piano every day, I wouldn't have ended up working as a professional musician, so I'm incredibly grateful to her for everything.
All right, that is interesting. So who is he talking about?
About his mom.
About his mom. Why is she so important to the speaker? Why is she so important?
Because she loved him, because she believed his power, and because she controlled her steps in musician. And thanks for her and her power, he became a great musician.
Great musician, that's right. Okay, very, very good. So she forced him, yes, to practice music. Okay, now we're going to listen again, and I'd like you to try to take notes with his if sentences. Yeah, what would be different? What would have been different if his mother hadn't done something? All right, so listen carefully and take notes. What does he say? Let's go.
Unit 10, Recording 2.
I know lots of people would probably say this, but the person who's had the biggest impact on my life is, without a doubt, my mom. My mom and dad separated a few months before I was born, so I never knew my father. And I'm an only child, so it was just the two of us as I was growing up. My mom was an incredibly strong woman. She brought me up on her own. She moved us from our small town in Poland to Germany when I was just 6, and she always loved me and believed in me, while doing 3 jobs to support me as well. She died a few years ago now, and I miss her every single day. If it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't have become the independent, strong, kind person I know she wanted me to be. And if she hadn't forced me to practice the piano every day, I wouldn't have ended up working as a professional musician, so I'm incredibly grateful to her for everything.
All right. So 2 things he mentioned with if. Artem, what was the first one?
If hadn't been her, been
Мгм.
her,
Ага.
дальше я уже не помню. If he'd been her, he didn't,
He wouldn't have
he wouldn't have became
become, да, become.
become
Hmm?
a professional musician. But this is number two.
This is about the second. Right. And the first, ladies, maybe you help?
Strong person.
Yes, that's right. He wouldn't have become so strong, yes, a person as she wanted him to. All right. And the second if was, Ola, what do you have?
If his mother hadn't 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 him forced
Forced.
hadn't forced him, he wouldn't have became a professional. Become
Mhm.
become a professional musician.
That's
Or
right.
a professional musician.
Yes, let's see what how he said it. If it hadn't been for her, this is so nice, and this would mean если бы не она, да, такая устойчивая фраза. If it hadn't been for her, check it out, please. And in Russian we would say если бы не она. If it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't have become an independent, strong, kind person. Yes, that you mentioned it. And if she hadn't forced me to practice the piano every day, I wouldn't have ended up working as a professional musician.
Маргарита, а как было бы, я просто думал, что это значит, что если бы ее не было,
Нет, если бы не она.
а если бы не было, тогда как было бы?
Вообще, если бы ее не было.
Да, ну, понятно, это...
There hadn't been... Нет, так даже не скажу, сейчас подумаю. Если бы ее не было. If I hadn't had her, вот так вот, через have я бы говорила.
If I
Hadn't
hadn't
have. Да, if I hadn't had her, I wouldn't have become so strong, да, вот так вот. If it hadn't been for her, да, то есть это вот ее заслуга, for her. Yeah? Okay. Good.
Маргарита, а вот интересное тут словосочетание. Я бы не состоялся как музыкант.
Да.
I wouldn't have ended up working.
Мгм. Ended up, отличная фраза, Екатерина, thank you. To end up means to come to any situation. For example, I always wanted to work in tourism, but I ended up working as a teacher. In Russian we would say, ну, в конце концов, да, по факту, вот что-то такое. Или they were all living, they were always living in a big city, but when they retired, they ended up living in the country. Да, вот, то есть в конце концов оказаться. Отличный фразовый глагол. End up. Yeah? Okay. Yes, this is a good one to notice. All right. So guys, now I will ask you to think about people who influenced you. It can be anyone famous or any member of your family, maybe teacher, maybe your friend, maybe your wife or husband, whoever you want to talk about. And in 3 minutes, please tell us about these people a little bit and what impact or what things have happened with the help of this person. All right, so 3 minutes to think and then share your ideas. By the way, here was also another good word, impact. Impact. Does anyone know what is impact?
Влияние.
Влияние. Влияние. Если существительное, то impact on. Have an impact on or make an impact on. Влияние. Оказывать влияние. Okay, so 2-3 minutes for you to think. Okay, guys, so the last minute and we'll discuss the influential people.
Маргарита, а как будет конкурс?
Competition. Okay. So, Artem, would you like to tell us about the influential person you thought about?
Okay, it's a short story.
Okay, go ahead.
My parents had great impact on my life.
Mm-hmm.
If they hadn't forced me to study well,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have become a physician.
All right.
If my parents didn't have, if
my parents hadn't,
sorry, if my parents, if my parents hadn't enough money,
еще глагол нужен. Hadn't had.
If my parents hadn't haven't had, yeah?
Hadn't had. Mm-hmm.
Hadn't had enough money, I might not have had the opportunity to graduate from medical university in Moscow.
Right, yes. Uh-huh.
That's all.
Yay, right. So the parents made a big impact on your life, right? Artem, and when you decided to become a doctor, did your parents help you choose the profession or was it your own choice?
I have another sentences, but if I hadn't had the allergy to pets,
okay,
I might have become a vet.
Right. So this is what your wish, your real wish.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
Okay. So, and how about my question? So, did your parents help you make up your decision about the?
No, it's my decision to become a physician.
Right, but they supported you, yes?
Yeah, yes, they support my dreams or my
right.
Желание, как бы.
Wish, my wish.
My wishes. Yeah.
Wishes, exactly, right. And are you the only or the first doctor in the family, or is anyone of your parents?
No, I'm the first doctor in the family.
Cool. This is a nice story, actually. Thank you so much, Artem. Very good. And you also mentioned that if your parents hadn't had enough money, you might have not finished the medical university. Is it pricey to study in a medical university?
Yes, it's not very. It's not a cheap thing, and I think nowadays the price for studying in a medical university is more expensive, and then it was I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Right, and plus a medical student can't work, yes, because there is so much to learn.
Medical student can work, but not in medicine.
Not
Yeah.
in medicine, all right, but yeah, as I imagine it, they are so busy usually, right? And there is not much time, yeah, to work.
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you so much. Good. Yekaterin, who was the influential person for you?
Mhm. What about the person who had a great impact on my professional way? It was the head of my laboratory where I worked a few years ago. If if she hadn't been here,
Mhm.
my director,
Huh?
I wouldn't been ended up working in hepatology.
Mhm. I wouldn't have, yeah? Do you have it there? I wouldn't have ended up.
I wouldn't have ended up working in hepatology. Так, щас, потеряла. We visited a lot of conferences together, and if she hadn't met me with great scientists in virology, I wouldn't have done my dissertation.
Wow, this is amazing. So, Yekaterin, and what did she do to encourage you?
She was very... так, забыла слово ответственный.
Responsible. Mhm.
She was very responsible person in her professional way, and she told with very encouraging about virology and hepatology, especially diagnostic.
Okay.
So I was encouraged to read special literature for this theme.
Right. Amazing. This is so lucky, yes, to meet really good professionals on our career way. This is great. Okay. Thank you. Ola, what about you? Who was the influential person?
My teacher, my school teacher, literature and Russian language, had impact
Mhm.
had impact on me because at first when I was 10 or 11 years old, she invited me to принять участие,
Take part in?
take part in poetry competition.
Okay.
She believed me and supported me, and it was very very как это, волнительно.
Okay. Exciting.
Excited, very excited for me. And if she hadn't believed me, I wouldn't have I wouldn't have read my poems at this competition.
All right. Lovely.
And also she if she hadn't remarked my poetry possibilities or my
poetry opportunities or my poetry talent лучше даже, да?
Poetry talent, I might have been stopped to write my poems.
Okay, lovely. This is great. So encouraging teachers are wonderful in our career path, right? Well, and how old were you when you took part in a poetry competition?
I was 10 or 11 years old. I didn't remember exactly.
Right. And did this teacher help you to fall in love with literature and with the Russian?
Yes.
Okay. Nice, nice. All right, guys. Thank you so much for interesting stories, yes, of encouraging people. How do you feel about third conditional? Is it a little better now?
Yeah.
Yes, all right. I hope it's so. Right. The structure is long and it is not very easy. Yeah. But as I hear, you are managing very, very well. Yeah. So it's good thing. I'm going to send you a little bit more activities. Yes. To practice it. If you feel that you need a little more, yes, please do these exercises. Yeah. And also a little bit to practice vocabulary that we discussed last time. Okay. So everything will be sent on Telegram as usual. All right. So
Yeah.
thank you very much and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.